Good morning students, my name is Gagandeep Kaur. We are doing unit number 1, Fundamentals of Computers, and in this video we will be doing session number 3, that is Computer Fundamentals. The topic to be covered are the basic organization of computers, CPU and its component, memory unit, units of memory, ALU and control unit. So let's start with the basic organization of the computer. So the basic organization have input unit, CPU and output unit. As you know, input devices like keyboard and mouse are used to provide input to the computer so that it process it and give us some output. And the processing is done by CPU, which is central processing unit. CPU perform both logical and arithmetic operators. CPU consists of microprocessors, which are the integrated chips. Further on, they consist of many transistors. Now these transistors work to control the data and manipulate it and store it. Now the speed of a computer is determined by the number of instructions it executes per second. So the unit becomes megahertz. Now let's talk about output unit. The output unit is formed by attaching the output devices to the computer, and output unit of a computer accepts the information from the CPU and display it to the user in a readable form. The next topic is CPU and its component. CPU consists of 3 parts: MU, that is memory unit; ALU, arithmetical logical unit; CU, central unit, control unit. Now, so let's talk about the memory unit first. So the memory unit consists of 2 parts: internal memory and external memory. Further on, internal memory is divided into 2 portions, RAM and ROM. First of all, every computer has certain amount of memory, usually referred to as the main memory. This is called the internal memory. The primary memory is the place where the data and the programs are stored temporarily as long as they are being executed. So RAM and ROM are 2 types. First is RAM, random access memory. It is a type of internal memory that can be accessed randomly. Whatever the information we enter into the computer goes into the RAM and remain there as long as we are working on the application. This type of memory is called volatile memory. Now, it has further on 4 types: DRAM, that is dynamic RAM; SRAM, static RAM; SDRAM, synchronous dynamic RAM; and DDR, double data rate memory. The next type of internal memory is ROM, which is read-only memory. It is a type of memory from which the information can only be read, whereas in RAM the information can be read from and also written to. So the ROM is the permanent memory, permanently stored. So power off doesn't affect it. So it is known as non-volatile memory. Now ROM has 5 types: PROM, programmable ROM; EPROM, erasable programmable ROM; EEPROM, electronically erasable programmable ROM. Then comes flash memory, and last is masked ROM. So these all were your internal memory things. Now let's talk about external memory. The external memory is also known as auxiliary memory or the secondary memory. It is needed since the main memory is temporary and expensive and insufficient to store a huge amount of data. So the data for processing get transferred from the secondary memory to the primary memory whenever required. The speed of the external memory is much slower than the internal memory. So some commonly used external devices are hard disk, CD, DVD, pen drive. The next topic is of units of memory. So a computer stores and processes the data or the information in the form of binary numbers. So the smallest unit of the memory is bit, which is in the form of 0 and 1. As I have written, 1 bit is equal to binary digit, and binary we have only 2 binary digits, 0 and 1. Afterwards it keep on increasing, like 8 bits makes 1 byte, 1024 bytes make 1 KB, that is kilobyte, then megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, it keep on increasing like this. The next is ALU. ALU is arithmetic logical unit, which is the component of CPU which perform the arithmetic and logical operations. So you know arithmetic operations are addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, and logical operations are greater than, less than, greater than is equal to, less than is equal to, and not equal to. So the logical operations test various conditions which are encountered during the processing and allow for different actions to be taken based on the results. So the data and the operand act as input for the ALU, and it generates the output as a result of the combination, as a result of the computation. Now the example for this is the truth table. The last topic is control unit. This unit controls the operation of every other component. It also controls the transfer of the data and the instructions. So in order to execute the instructions, the component of the computer receives signals from the control unit. It extracts the instruction from the memory, decode them, and send the necessary signal to ALU to perform the required action. So if I'm doing a mouse click, that is also done in the same way. First, it receives the instruction. The component of the computer receives signal from the control unit. Then it do the operation. So this is the end of the session. Hope you understand well. Thank you.